Very simple video I want to make today, and it's to just teach you something you already know, by the way. You already know, but it's just how to act from inspiration so that whatever dua you make, it's almost like you'll become the vessel for the dua to be accepted. Here's what I mean by that. Oftentimes, have you ever noticed how there's some stuff that you do that, like, for example, you go and you pick up a phone call, and you're like, bro, if I never picked up this phone call, my dua would have never been accepted. I was making dua for this the entire time, and if I didn't pick up this phone call, it would have never been accepted. Or, for example, you go into a restaurant, randomly, you never go to restaurants, but you go into a restaurant, and then all of a sudden you're like, you meet some person that changes your whole life. It's just when, you know those moments when you become at the right place and at the right time, and then your dua gets accepted. Let me show you how to get more of that, because knowing how to get more of that is like how to find more miracles in your life. Truly, how to find more miracles in your life. So here's what it is, right? It's a very simple thing to do. Sit down by yourself, no music, no nothing, for 30 to 60 minutes. 30 to 60 minutes. Most people, they never sit down with nothing for 30 to 60 minutes. Now, what this is going to do, you can call it meditation, you can call it anything you want, bro. It doesn't matter what you call it. But just you sitting, and then you not having any stimuli, that's the plural, not having anything to look at, just nothing, pure nothingness, and you're sitting with your own thoughts. What's going to happen is that in the first 10 minutes, your brain is going to keep trying to remind you to go and get up, to go and do some stuff, to go and maybe go to the washroom. You need to go pee. You haven't drank your coffee. You haven't done blah, 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 blah. All these things, right? But then when you keep sitting down and you keep sitting your body like your body's the animal, you keep sitting it down and you show it who the master is, and your mind, you keep telling your mind, come back in the present moment. When it gets distracted, you keep bringing it back. You keep doing that. After the first 10 minutes, your mind slowly, the activity within your mind is slowly going to start slowing down. And by the way, do this not lying down, but you're sitting down upright, not laying down. Because most of the time, I remember when I used to do it laying down, I would just get so sleepy and then I would sleep. And 60 minutes becomes 8 hours. So what you do, 20 to 30 minutes, what you'll start noticing is that all of a sudden, you'll get a rush of energy. And by the way, don't go into this with the expectation that what I'm saying is truly going to happen to you. Just go into it with no expectation. Because when you go into it with the expectation, then you're trying to force something. But the point is not to force anything. So now you go into it, again, 20 to 30 minutes. What I notice is that there's going to be a rush of energy. And then whatever dua that you made, all of a sudden, it's like the answer is just going to come clear to you. All of a sudden. And it's almost like that's when you get the inspiration to just go and do whatever. Maybe you might just get the inspiration to go and walk. Go out for a walk. Don't resist. Don't be nah, I'm too lazy. If you're getting a true inspiration, go for a walk, man. Go for a walk, and go for a walk with no expectation. Even if you go for a walk and then nothing happens, and then you come back and you're I didn't learn anything. Maybe you just learned to not force anything, to not have any expectations, to not try to force things into reality. So what I'm trying to say to you right now is that within stillness, within these moments of stillness, when the mind becomes still and then it's not thinking anymore, and then it's not having so much activity within it, your brain becomes receptive to the guidance of Allah. Because oftentimes when you feel like you're so far from Allah, you're not far. It's just you're having too much activity in your mind, so you're placing all of your attention on your mind the entire time. But then when you slow it down, you slow down your brain waves, you slow down the activity, then you become receptive. And that's where whatever is so beautiful, because whatever, and by the way, I want to give you a story, but I don't want to reveal personal things. But even in my own marriage life, man, how I got married, it's through this. And then people complicate it. They're like, oh, it's so hard to get married and blah, blah, blah. It's so hard because you keep going to the wrong places. You keep forcing things because you think that you are the one that's supposed to go and do things. You think that you are the one that's supposed to sit down and think, how am I supposed to do this? How am I supposed to do that? How am I supposed to make money? How am I supposed to get married? When in reality, the answer is always there. The answer is always there. In whatever thing it is, you're trying to get better at studies, the answer is always there. You're trying to get better at whatever's always there, bro. But you keep forcing it. But what I'm telling you is when you sit down and you have nothing in your mind, when you become pure nothing, Allah's going to place the inspiration in your heart, in your mind, and then when you go and act upon it, it'll feel so effortless. It'll feel so easy. And then if it's not feeling easy, then it's because you're acting from your own thinking. And your own thinking is way too slow. Your own thinking way too limited. How can you make $1 million in a day and you've never done it through your own mind when your mind has never done it? But when you go back to Allah, like Allah can do it, you can't. But when you go back to Allah by having stillness in your mind, by having pure nothingness within you, and you allow the light of Allah to come and pass through you, that's where these miracles can happen. And that's why I say miracles are normal. Because you think that miracles are not normal because you keep identifying with your own self that's limited. But then when you identify with Allah, that's not limited, that's constant, always there, watching over everything, where everything is going to be destroyed except Allah, then there is no more limitedness. There is no more, oh no, time, bro, I can't make $1 million in one day. I can't. It's going to maybe take 10 years. Nah, bro, when it comes to Allah, it could happen in an instant. But your job is not to force it. Your job also, let's just say you made a dua that you want to make $1 million in whatever amount of time. It doesn't matter the amount of time. And then you're just like you keep trying to force the how. You keep trying to force the time in a specific amount of time, in a specific method. When you keep forcing it, it'll never happen. Because again, you're doing it from your own mind. By the way, I've actually, you know how it's the last 10 nights right now as I'm making this video? I've been praying Qiyamul Layl, and it's so beautiful because I noticed in Qiyamul Layl, what people do is that they elongate the ruku' and then they elongate the sujood. And I've been elongating for a long time, like maybe, I don't know, I don't even know how long I've been elongating it, but I've been elongating for a long time, and it feels so nice because it's like maybe you'd go through 2 rak'ah and then it'll take you like half an hour. But then after the half an hour, in the beginning, when you first go into it, you're like, bro, half an hour doing only 2 rak'ah, that's way too much. But then when you finish it, you're like, you just get this, like, I remember I did it recently, and it's almost like my heart was just opened all of a sudden. And it was closed before, but all of a sudden just opened. Which is crazy because, yeah, like the salat positions that Allah gave us, like the ruku' and the sujood, even that in of itself is miraculous. Even in the positions themselves, there's like miracles. And then the more you elongate it, the more you start feeling these effects from these positions, which is just beautiful. So again, bro, any request that you want, any dua that you want to make to Allah, make the dua, but then sit down in stillness, having nothing in your mind, and just allow the inspiration from Allah to come into you. Because humans are meant to be vessels. All of us, were meant to be vessels. We're not meant to be people that walk around and then try to survive on our own. You can never survive on your own. And to think that you can survive on your own is, I believe it's a form of shirk. Because how can you survive on your own? Ibrahim alayhi salam himself says, when I get sick, Allah heals me. Allah is the one that feeds me. Allah is the one that waters me. He knows it's not him that does it. Go read the ayat. It's not. He knows that it's not him. And he knows if it's not for Allah, I'm gone. My existence is not even here. Which is beautiful, man. But yeah, this is a very, very, very powerful thing to do. So if this was helpful to you, just let me know, man.